this company is on market now for 3 years. Before that, you did the volunteering. What is it all for?
Good question. For young Chinese people, we do not know how to live in a shared apartment.
Never studied for IT.
You don't need to start business too earlier. We do not care about these housing pictures. You really did much research for Wellcee. TikTok, this company, they got punishment or limitation. It's not controlled by them.
We laugh, we joke, we sing. What a beautiful day.
Проверьте микрофон.
Да все нормально с ним.
Работает, чтобы по звуку, чтобы было микрофон. Да, лучше этому пиздюку сказать, чтобы он не кричал.
Hi everyone, this is Who Are They interview show, and here I'm talking to people you don't know about things you know. Wellcee is an international internet company, #1 rental and social platform in China for expats, where expats make connections and share lifestyles. Today I'm with Alex, a founder of Wellcee company. Hello, Alex.
Hello, Yulia. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you too. Thank you very much for being here today. Well, we discover interest in souls with similar interests, I read on the website. So how many interesting souls registered you have already?
By now, we have more than 200,000 registered users.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and more than half of them, they come from the outside of China.
Yeah.
So by now, we have registered users come from more than 160 countries.
But in the beginning, was that like a startup? Because I know that this company is on market now for 3 years.
Yes.
So how long time it took you to come where you are now, to be the most successful, I guess, #1 social media, social rental platform in China?
By now, I think we are not that got a big success, but we just found our own way.
All right.
And we start this company from Beijing, in fact, because I used to work and live in Beijing. And after that, we noticed more and more, no matter for expats, foreigners, or the young Chinese generation, they need a platform like this. So we expand Wellcee from Beijing to Shanghai, Shenzhen, and Hong Kong. By now, we opened 7 cities.
Yeah, that was the question also. How you choose what cities to cover? The biggest ones?
First point, we choose a city should be an international city.
Right.
Yeah. And secondly, we hope the city can have a bright future. So which means it's a popular city for young generation and for foreigners. So usually we choose these big cities, and by now we start to open like Chengdu, Guangzhou, Hangzhou, which we call this potential international city in the future.
Yeah, right. Well, I did a little investigation about your working background. So before you studied in France,
Yes.
also worked in France,
Yeah.
and before that in Cameroon,
Yes.
helping African company to install Chinese equipment.
Yes.
And before that, you did the volunteering. What is it all for? Like to be where you are, to make a platform for people to make connections.
Got it. You mean the idea?
Yes,
from
where it came from.
Yeah, good question. I used to study in France as engineer.
Right.
I have never IT experience background before. In fact, I used to be an infrastructure engineer. So you know the project One Belt, One Road. By now, China's central government will start to invest like the seaport, high-speed road in different countries. So I used working for the China's central government for this international project. But during my study experience and my working experience in different countries, as you mentioned, in France, in UK, in Cameroon, in Thailand, I found the 2 interesting things. Firstly, this world is so interested because these people have different backgrounds, lifestyle, cultures, languages. So I'm thinking, if you're in a young age, between 20s to 30 years old, if you can have a chance to get to know more about the different countries, the outside of your own country, it's very inspired thing.
True.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting. Just like you are, by now you live in Shanghai, in China, totally different compared with Russia.
Totally different.
Yeah, and secondly, I found no matter when I was trying to find accommodation in France, in UK, in Cameroon, I found it's so difficult. There's a language barrier. Especially you cannot contact with local people if they do not speak English.
Right.
And secondly, it's not reliable. If even you can find some information for the housing, for the renting, mostly the pictures are fake.
True.
So I found the same condition like in China. Many foreigners, expats, they have this necessary
Right.
to find accommodation. Every one of us, we need it. So I want to link these two parts. For young Chinese people, we do not know how to live in a shared apartment. In fact, we do not know how to
Right.
find a roommate, how to live with your roommate, with friends, to be respectful for each other and to have a good life quality. But in Europe, in Russia, in America, it's very normal. So I found it's very interesting. Chemistry production happened when we link the expats and the foreign and with local Chinese.
Yeah, right. True.
Yeah.
But you mentioned that you studied in France never studied for IT at all.
Never.
But do you think that education in general plays a key role that is important? Speaking about business, if you want to start business, is it important to invest into education, or it's just you have this talent or not, or is it a skill?
I think, just for example, Jack Ma, or the Bezos, the boss of Amazon, most of them they do not have IT background, but each of them they have very deep understanding for a single industry, and this understanding of this industry is from their education background. So I think for this education background is quite important. Somehow you don't need to start business too earlier. Before that, especially for startup, you must be 100% be prepared because it's too much challenge, too many different bugs you need to handle them. So I think to have a good education is very important for your foundation and for your support in the future.
But also, traveling could be kind of education.
Yeah.
I believe that traveling actually invests a lot into education also, and probably people who travel a lot, they become more broad-minded, and that's why maybe they can see what the market needs, and that's how maybe the idea can come to the mind.
Yes.
But of course, here they need educational background to know how to figure it out.
Yeah, and for the traveling, I think I also have my own understanding. Just for example, when I was working in Cameroon, in Africa as volunteer, I was working in UK as volunteer. I treat this trip as a trip. I'd like to talk, even work with local people. I'd like to communicate with them. What's their lifestyle? What's their concern of their work? Just for example, when I was in Africa, I found when I was just arrived in Africa, because to be honest, I have never lived in African country before. So when I was walking on the street, I found, oh my gosh, it's totally different compared with China, compared with France. Somehow even you can find this unorganized, very dangerous. But when I start to work with the local people for a local company as volunteer, I found they also have their own talent for the life. They're really good at for dancing, which I cannot handle it.
Yeah.
So when you saw them have a good smile, really feel happy in their own lifestyle, I've noticed that no need every country's people like Chinese to work very hard to work for the next generation. I think different countries, different people should have different lifestyle.
True.
So for this traveling, I really suggest these young people do not only for tourists. Better if you have a chance to study, to work, or as a volunteer in a different countries. It really can inspire your mind.
Before I came to China, for such a long time, I just traveled, and I always felt like a tourist because I never had a chance to go into depth,
Yes.
just to understand the reality of life people are following. Yeah. And as for me, the first 3 weeks, I think when I came to China, I was like, oh my God, I want to go back home. I was so shocked.
Yeah.
Just because it was so different from everything I saw before. That was my first time in China, and I spent like maybe a month here. But after a while, you know, someone told me once, Shanghai is a place that hurts and heals. When you are in Shanghai, sometimes you hate it, but when you leave Shanghai, you always miss it. That's totally true for me.
And I think, especially for foreigners, when you live in different countries, if you can find your own lifestyle in this new country, if you can adapt this new society, at the same time, you have become more and more stronger. You have become more and more much more talent. I think it's very important growth.
Yeah, understand.
Yeah.
Well, what a typical user like me can see right away looking at the platform. I just cannot ignore this question about comparing Wellcee and Smart Shanghai. Because of course, for a user like me, from the first second, like right away, I see, oh, they are probably similar. But
Yes.
if we go in depth, it's quite different.
Yeah.
And I think mostly in the way the information is served. Because for me, talking about design, Wellcee is much more successful
Thank you.
and eye-catching. And also, I found a very interesting branch about expats sharing lifestyles.
Yeah.
You make like interviews or small talks with
Yeah.
expats living in China, sharing their lifestyle and what they are doing in China. For me, that is very interesting because I'm a journalist. But do you use this storytelling as a tool for something like probably to attract more users or to make this platform not only rental but also social, like to make connections, to let people make connections and friends?
Got it. I answer your first question. The difference compared with Smart Shanghai and Wellcee.
Right.
The main difference, Smart Shanghai, this website or this business model is like expat, service expat. All information are in Chinese. We do have a Chinese version, English version. So which means we want to link to not only experts, but local Chinese, because more and more people, they can speak English now.
Right.
So the information is different. And secondly, you found it on Wellcee, the main page. We made many interviews of storytellers, because we treat Wellcee was not only for the renting. And be honest, we do not care about these housing pictures, about the housing price, or housing decoration.
Okay.
We care about the people who are live inside, who can give you different inspiration, who can share the different language, culture, food with you. I think this is really the point we care. We made this story. We want to inspire more, especially for young Chinese generation. We want to inspire them, be more open-minded, be more to get to know more about what's happened outside of China.
Yeah.
Before I came out from China to France, to Africa, I got the traditional Chinese education. I found we need to work very hard. We need to find a good job. Before the marriage, we need to buy the apartment.
Yeah, and the car,
Yes.
and pay for the wedding. That is for-
I think it's not wrong. But when I was in Europe, in Africa, I found people have totally different understanding of the marriage, of the working. We do not compare which one is better, which one is correct. No need, because we have different
Right.
lifestyle. So I hope to inspire this young Chinese generation.
Yeah, as for the young generation in China, I think they have become more millennials, because millennial, we can already use this word as an adjective. It means they travel abroad, they speak good English, they have many foreign friends. And as for me, there's interviews in about lifestyle on your website. Also, give people a chance to make connections, because
Yes.
nowadays we live in a very digital society. Everyone is in their phones, and as I've noticed that you also leave the contacts like Instagram or other social media
Yes.
of these people, which means they are also interested in this, not only to share experience, but also I don't know, attract followers or people.
This is you really did much research for Wellcee.
Thank you.
It's true. If you want to do a startup for IT company, especially in China, first thing you can find it's really changing fast. Maybe for every 3 or 5 years, there's a new platform. We tried to approach this young generation, these new media social platforms. We built this community or this network to make more people know us.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good tool, because I'm making this show also to not only to know interesting and cool people, but also let them know me, just in
Yes.
case. People spend a lot of time looking at the phone screens. My screen time, iPhone says, is over 5 hours per
day.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And which app you used the most?
Mostly YouTube.
YouTube?
Yeah, because I work on YouTube and I just watch something like to get more educated in interviews, and Instagram, and of course messengers like WeChat, WhatsApp.
No TikTok?
No, no, but that was my question. What other, the top social media you think in 2021?
2021.
I guess TikTok is #1 trend for now.
Yeah, I think it's for this video social medias.
Yeah, TikTok has been downloaded more than 1.2 billion times.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just insane, and it is translated into 75 different languages.
I really felt surprised. TikTok, this company, they got punishment or limitation by both Chinese government and the U.S. government.
Because they grow too fast.
Firstly, if you're a small company, nobody cares, right? When you become a huge platform, which means your power, your influence,
Influence is huge.
even can change a country or world. So I can understand what's happened in US today. They feel worried about this most important social media platform is not controlled by them. I may ask you a question. What's the most important media in Europe today? Which media is the most important, I think?
I think Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, as for messengers, is WhatsApp.
Yeah, this is today, the situation. But before 10 years, if we discuss this, you may say, oh, maybe it's a BBC. Maybe it's this French media like this. It's traditional media.
Yeah.
But today, these social medias, when they comes out,
Yeah, just conquered the world.
yeah,
The top digital platforms for 2021 that would be, speaking about Chinese applications, I think that is WeChat. And
yeah, I can see by now the TikTok, even the WeChat, they start to do the new service for the channel.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, TikTok is just out of competition, that's for sure, #1. And then maybe WeChat and QQ.
No QQ. QQ is similar like WeChat to send a message mainly. But today, for this young generation, they like to create, to share the different videos. They watch this, for example, Douyin is TikTok Chinese. When they watch it, they start to join this game. Because by now, no matter you are beautiful, you are sexy, or you're just normal people, if you have enough creativity,
Yeah, creativity.
you will become popular.
Yeah, I think that's the idea why everyone wants to become popular, just
Yeah.
to add this additional price to who you are, to build your personal brand.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you can double, triple the price of everything you do.
Yeah, you know what's happening today in China? A lot of young generation, maybe 20 or 25 years old, between this age. Most of them, they have full-time job, they have second part-time job. They're doing the video, they're doing the live show. Even now, they start to do the business on it.
How a rental platform is monetized, all right, I can understand. Maybe just landlords pay money to publish the advertising, but how a social platform can be monetized?
You mean to make money?
Yeah.
This is business model for most IT company. Even for this TikTok, the social medias, or Tinder, right? They're all social media platforms.
Yeah.
Most of them, in the first 3 to 5 years, they do not make any money. They just do the increase of the users. Once you adapt to live with this app, once you trust it, and they know your interest, which product, which video, which city, they can send you the advertisement. And for Wellcee, so far we make money. Maybe we start to do it because we need to survive. We need to explore the business model. But there is a rule in our team. We don't want to bother our users. We cooperate with many big real estate companies in China. Because by now they start to build the whole building, do not for selling, but to rent. So they use Wellcee.
Oh, I understand. What are you really into outside of work?
Oh, this is a sad question.
Because we talked today a lot about inspiration. So what is your inspiration? Because I guess to build this really very inspiring platform, something had to inspire you for that. You said that is traveling and
my living experience.
Yeah, getting inside local people's life when you lived abroad, but from your daily life.
Unfortunately, by now I do not have any daily life.
You don't have time.
You know, in China we have a working schedule. It's called 996.
Yeah.
From 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. 6 days per week. For me, 7 days per week.
Oh my.
Every week, I may have three times break, rest. Each time maybe 1 to 2 hours. So I like to do the yoga. For me, it's a meditation. I start to do yoga for 1 year. And secondly, I like to do running. I like to run the long distance, 10 or 15 kilometers.
Oh wow.
I want to make my body feel very tired. Then I can make my mind be empty. And I like reading. So every Sunday afternoon, I will spend 2 or 3 hours to read a book. So for the others time, all for Wellcee.
What do you read? Some success stories?
Companies management.
Okay.
Just for like Huawei, Facebook, or Elon Musk. So the reading is the best way to enrich the knowledge, especially for the startup. Right?
That's true. Well, when you said that you have only a few hours spare time per week, and now I feel very embarrassed that you came here today to support me with this video. Thank you very much for being here today with me. That was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank
Have
you.
a very nice talk with you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, that's it, because I guess it's time.
Oh, perfect.
We laugh, we joke, we sing. What a beautiful day.